Okay. So, I don't know if it's a good idea or not, but I put transmission fluid in here and I put it on all the threads. It's cheaper than buying cases of WD-40 or some other penetrating oil. And I got random, bottles of transmission fluid I'll probably never use. So here's how I'm using it. Why not? All right, so I got all 8 of these off. Some of them have washers, I think. Maybe they all do, yeah. We'll get those off, then we're gonna give this thing a smack and get this axle out of here. On the 64 not Dodge, I keep saying Dodge. I did that earlier in the video. Ford. Oh, because my first truck was a 64 Dodge. That's probably where that comes from. Yeah. Anyway, it's a F-350. It's probably a 110 actually. Full floating axle. These are Dana 70s. And I want to see what's in there. And I want to get this hub off so I can look at the bearings. And I guess if we have time today, we're going to drain the rear end too. Get some fresh oil in there. Okay. Didn't have any trouble with this thing. It just... And I whacked it in the middle. First thing I did was hit a stud, so I put all the nuts on so I wouldn't do that again. I steadied the handle of the hammer on the ground and just went a few times. Hit it on the side. Then I noticed one of the cones was loose. Hit it on the other side. Noticed the cone was loose. So she's ready to come out now. Very easy. So I'm keeping everything organized. I just use a little screwdriver. You pry behind the little cone and they come right up. Just like that. These guys gooped silicone around everything. I was kind of expecting oil to drip out, but it didn't. But I'm sure it will eventually. At least once I get the hub off. So we got to go get a pan. All right, we got the axle coming out. I'm using a paint pan. My drain pan has a crack in it. So I thought I'd just try a drain pan, see how it works. Paint pan, whatever you want to call it. That oil, let's take a look at it. Super thick. Let me sniff it. Yep, smells like gear oil. All right. Next thing, set the axle in a clean spot and we'll get that nut off. So splines look really good. It's a good idea to, as soon as you get it out, clean it in case you drop it in the dirt.
I was looking at something that doesn't, I don't know what that is. Is some animal did that?
Oh. Anyway, back to the axle. If you clean it, that way you can inspect it immediately. This thing is spotless. The whole axle is, there isn't even any oil on the axle, barely. Flange looks, besides having a bunch of silicone, no gasket. So they either couldn't get one or didn't want one. But the splines, I can barely catch my finger on them, both sides. So they're looking, there's hardly any wear from the side gears. And that's what I was looking at. I wanted to see. There's a little bit of grit in there. Not bad. Oh, I wanted to point out also what they did. Let's see, where did I find it? There it is. Right here they marked it 2TR. 2 truck. I mean 2TR. I'm not sure what that means or why they put it there. But it's on the left side of the truck. So was it put back on the opposite side? We'll find out when we do the other one. But yeah, 2TR. Don't know what that means. Okay, so we got, first I washed it in the parts washer. Then I sprayed it with starting fluid. I couldn't find my brake clean. And I graduated up to lacquer thinner just to get all of it super clean. And this doesn't need to be that clean, but that flange, I want it spotless so it'll seal up with just a gasket. I bought a gasket. And it'll be, this thing is spotless right now. There's not a speck of dirt on it. All right, so we just pulled the bearing and it's in pretty good shape. Let's have a look here. With my naked eye, I can't see what the number is, but I'll be able to see it on the camera later. Or if I put my glasses on. But I wiped it a little bit. So far it looks good. It was clean in here. And the oil looked black, but not horrible. As clean as everything is, I think someone was in here recently. And it says, they wrote all over it, says bleed. And someone marked the hub. They indexed the axle flange. You don't need to do that, but hey, it shows they were thinking. All right, we're doing the passenger side. Whoops. Drop the axle. Look how much silicone they got gooped inside here. That's crazy. And on the driver's side, they used blue silicone. And on this side, they used red. It's like two guys working on it. And one of them said, I'll go grab the silicone. And one of them grabbed the other guy a tube, and they were two different colors. Who knows? It's just my theory. But got this axle out. No oil dropped out. That's a bad sign. Okay, I got to this point here where the spindle's clean. I should probably mention today is December 31st. It's New Year's Eve, last day of 2025. I guess it's a good day to inspect the brakes on your vehicle. Brand new wheel cylinders, brand new shoes, wear sleeve installed, no wear on it. Just like the other side, bearings were packed in grease, and so there's no gear oil available to the bearings. So I was fully expecting that. Okay. All right, so we're gonna button this up, cover everything up, put some bags over them, and probably spray it down with WD-40 because it's gonna rain today. It doesn't get wet under here because it has a metal floor on top of the wood floor. Ooh, the wood floor's cracked. They put some heavy stuff in here if it did that. Anyway, we got her cleaned up. That's it for now. Okay. So all the grease is cleaned out, except I did wipe some grease on the races, the inner race and outer race. That way, you know, they won't be getting corroded, because this purple magic stuff is very acidic. But I'm gonna let them soak overnight, throw that bucket on top, because it's gonna rain. It's raining right now. And just let them soak. Then tomorrow I think I'm gonna bust out I should go there and spray the, dang, I don't have time. I gotta go eat dinner, but if I'm gonna get the pressure washer out, I'm just thinking while I'm filming, that's not a good idea. Okay. Anyway, they're soaking with the purple magic. That should cut some of that grease off there, because I want to paint them. Give them a Craigslist rebuild. Hi, Pat. Hi. Okay, so we're under the 64 Ford 350. I've been scraping for about, I don't know, 30 minutes. It is corroded under here. but I'm not taking this cover off until I cleaned it. Plus I had to get it jacked up more and a little level and a little more safe. It is not really safe. There's my old antique can I filled with diesel. So I could feel like I'm working in that era. Anyway, so we're gonna get it cleaned up, then we'll take the cover off. See if any oil comes out. It really started coming down, so me and Pat got out from underneath the truck. Or I was under the truck. There's the hubs. All clean, all pressure washed. I rubbed grease all over the bearing, the inner races, or whatever you call them, the races. Just need to paint those. And I probably spent a good hour cleaning that rear end, and it's still filthy. I won't even take that plate off until it's a lot cleaner than it is. I think I'll probably take the pressure washer to it. I didn't want to make a mud mess down there, but I don't know. I'll see if I'll do one more session of diesel fuel and scrub brushes and putty knives and see. I mean, it was half an inch thick all over the rear end. You couldn't even see the brake lines. Barely. Well, I don't have anybody else to film, so I always have to film after her before I'm doing the work, but I just pressure washed this thing. We've had a break in the weather here on January 5th, 2026, so the 64 Ford F-350 dump is now a little bit cleaner. Wet wind's picking up. That should help dry everything out. But the rear end had like just, I don't know, 50 something years of dirt and grease all over it. It's still really dirty. But I focused, I mean, I got everything. I got the springs too, but my focus is to get the cover off and have that clean, so it looks pretty good. I'm not going to do it today. I got to wait till it dries out a little bit. But yeah, coming along. I don't think I got anything inside the axle. It doesn't matter if I got a little in there. It's a little bit cleaner under there. Up there by the pinion seal, I'm going to replace that too. So there you go. Well, it's Sunday morning, January 11th, 2026. And I thought I'd make a quick video of the 64 Ford F-350 dump. Yesterday, I was so busy I didn't do any filming of the cover removal and draining the rear end. You can see the tag. This thing has some 531 gears in it. I couldn't believe that. And a build date of 9/63. Anyway, it's got new brake lines. Somebody did up the brakes a long time ago. I'm gonna sand the shoes. I cleaned the drums up real good. Yeah, new gasket. Everything is clean. The gears look good. I gave them an inspection. And I just need to put the passenger side on today. I've only got one seal. The other seal is in the post office. And it's Sunday, so I can't get it. I'll get it Monday. This stinger will get your back. Gotta be careful getting out of here. All right, that's our update on the 64. And here's the passenger side axle. I pulled the dust covers back and sprayed some WD-40 in there because I really can't physically put my eyes on it. So I wanted to just ensure there was no moisture in there. And I cleaned these with lacquer thinner, but I think I'm going to give them a light sanding, just to rough up the shoes. Spring hardware, everything looks good other than... I may take those adjusters apart and grease the adjuster. That'd probably be a good idea. Gonna fight it though, trying to get those out of there. All right. Hopefully we get to put that on today. So one of the things you have to do when you install a seal is make sure the spring that's in there doesn't pop out when you're hammering on it. The way to do that is to take some grease and just pack it between the housing and that lip, and that'll prevent the spring from popping out on you. And you can see I've started on it here. That's what I did with all the others. That's standard practice. It's got to be thick grease. It can't be like watery, loose grease. It's got to be that real thick stuff like this, Stay Lube. Well, since we couldn't get axle flange gaskets, we're going to use silicone. I give it a wipe down with some lacquer thinner first, and then I'll clean. These are clean. I could just, I'm going to slap a little grease on the splines, and let's go install this bad boy. All 8 on. I put a little silicone on the cones. Why not? Just neatly so it's not like oozing out too much. It just made a little teeny seal right there. Not like the other guy did where it was fucking crazy gooped. And so that's what we're looking at. Now I'll tape the lugs off. I'm not gonna paint it right now. I don't think I have enough paint. I used most of that gloss black on the mailbox post, so yeah. So one side's done, and I'm confident it's the right seal and it should work. On to the next side. Okay. I don't know what chapter this is of this job, but we're moving on. We got some kind of, we're gonna make progress here. I still gotta lube up the slack adjuster, brake adjuster, whatever you want to call it. It's not a slack adjuster because it's not an air brake. Got the hub all clean, the inside bearing and the seal installed. So I'm ready to install the drum hub, whatever you want to call it. I've been struggling with nomenclature. All right, just wanted to sort of document what I'm doing. But that's it. Here we go. Well, the drum went on real easy. I put gear oil on the bearings. And now all I gotta do is tighten the nut down. I got a good preload on it. It's the bearing's already been used and seated and all that kind of junk, so I don't need to do all that. Just find a spot for the tab, fold it down, and call it good. I'll probably put 100 foot-pounds on it. Okay. Another thing you can do is put some of the gear oil in between the bearing and the seal. When you get it out there and you turn the drum on its side, just pour some in there. There's enough cavity in there to hold it. You just don't want any of it dripping. It has this cap. If there is any oil, it'll go out. Okay. So another thing I did was I found a piece of Schedule 80 or whatever it is, sewer pipe. And I made that for my seal driver. It fit perfectly. I just put a block of wood over it and hammered it down. If you take your time and just feel around, you can tell if one side's going in more than the other. And just do it evenly. It don't have to be perfect. It's a little low right here. it'll be fine. So one thing you want to do is break the glaze off of these shoes. You don't have to go crazy. Just lightly, so they look kind of powdery. I cleaned them up pretty good, and now I got them. I always do that. Deglaze them.